Hello, what's up good people? Good to see you once again. Leo tunazungumzia three nice profitable nice businesses that tunaweza anzisha in Kenya, especially in this 2023. And by the way, there's something that you have seen in those three businesses. Remember, our country is a developing country. Now those areas are quite developing at a very rapid rate. Nazungumzia biashara gani? Nazungumzia pharmacy, commonly known as chemistry in our country. There is another business called wines and spirits or liquor businesses, kuna wenye wanazitanga hivyo, and that one actually has a range of other differences of different businesses inside of it. And the other one is about hardware. Remember, our country is a developing country and construction is really, by the way, have you been to Nairobi of late? It's actually like a big construction site, so that tells you something about that industry. I always tell you, put your money where your mouth is, or put your mouth when your money is. Whichever is simple for you to move, just move it. Just make the two meet at the end of the day. Anyway, but before you do that, as always, take 1 second hapo hivyo chini, click that button. Kuna button on your right, kuna button kameandikwa subscribe. It is in black. Guess what? It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Takes less than even a second. Asa saizi ungekuwa usha click. Yeah, exactly. Then hapo hivyo chini kuna kengele kamechorwa kwa mkono just like this. Hit those two buttons. Yeah, I know probably you're asking yourself, fine, I can just ignore Joseph hatajua kama ni kweli sitajua, but the point is this, you will be able to get new videos nikizi upload in future. So you better do it, you get something. Let's get to it. All right. So those two, or rather those three businesses. Number one, wines and spirit or the liquor business. And hapa hivi ndani na clubs ina form hapo hivyo ndani nini na zingine nyingi. All right. The second one is about chemist or pharmacy business, and the other one is about hardware business. It's all about selling construction materials and what have you and such kind of things. All right. I decided to pick these three businesses because let me tell you one thing. These businesses has money. And people will never share this information ikiweza kukubali. Alright? It has money. Fine, let's tuanze na ya kwanza. Tuanze na kitu kama chemist, alright? Or pharmacy. It is a capital, and by the way, what you have to realize among all those three businesses and nimetaja, we call them the capital intensive businesses, meaning they require a bit of heavy capital when you want to start, alright? But when everything falls into place, then count yourself as one of the millionaires. But there is a condition here. You have to follow the factors required or needed for you to be successful in these businesses, alright? So what I mean by this point is this. Let's start with pharmacy, all right? Pharmacy or chemistry business, what do you need? Of course, you need regulation from the Kenya Poisoners and something Kenya and Pharmacy and Poisoners Board, kitu kama hiyo, all right? That's actually one of the hardest license for you to get. But once you grab it, then you're good to go. I know you're asking yourself, okay, fine, just I may have the money to start, but must I have the skills to me or for me to be able to start that business? And I hope the Kenya, wherever they are not hearing, no, it's not a must you have. You can be an investor, but pull somebody who has the skills. Let me explain that point. Unaweza kuwa you have the money, you have the cash to start, but you don't have the skill. Hata labda tujei in the university, sio lazima. But what you can do, bring somebody who has that expertise, somebody who is allowed by the Kenya Pharmacy and Poisons Board, right? So you bring them on board. Of course, you use their licenses. They lease. Actually, those licenses are out there and they are leasable, if that name exists actually. So you can actually lease that license, you use it, you set up a business, you can go ahead and employ them if you're in an agreement, or maybe you can just employ somebody else who can actually disseminate those, pharmacy related services in that specific given premise or business. Alright? Because of course, hapo una deal na health ya wasee na ni lazima ukuwe mtu anajua ni nini inafanya, na pia utaki kuvurutana na government na such, because I don't think it's actually nice, because that will offer you some turbulences when you're actually running your business. All right? So tumesema leta mtu mwenye anaelewa hiyo biashara, chukua license yake, itumie kama license yake, of course utakuwa unamlipa, and then employ somebody who is mandated to do exact business, and guess what? Of course, have those skills of running the business. And let me tell you one thing. Just because they are able or they are mandated to do the selling of or rather disseminating the services, does not mean they are good business people. Some of the guys that you see that actually they do not have those services. Just because you are a teacher does not mean by default if you start a business, or rather if you start a school utakuwa successful. Those are the things. So at the end of the day, you still remain as an investor. You have to think as an investor and such kind of a thing. So the next one is about wines and spirit. Yeah, I know hapo hivyo watu wengi wata contest waseme government inasumbua policy and what have you and whatever. Let me tell you one thing. Whenever you see a policy somewhere trying to put their hands inside, there is money. That's the reality. It's as simple as that. All right? Simple as that. If something doesn't have something, then you cannot be able to see people getting their hands into it. So at the end of the day, yeah, I know kuna huo usumbufu wa serikali ya polisi and what have you, because let me just not make that comment. But yeah, if you can just get yourself, understanding on how you can align yourself with them. If you're a Kenya, you know what I mean. If you can just align yourself with them, then it means you are able to be in business, both of you or all of you, you get something out of it. Hata watu wenye wananunuanga matatu ama gari za matatu pia wanapata kitu. Unapata umeajiri dereva anakukula, makanga anakukula, polisi mwenye ako kwa barabara anakukula, mechanic na, but God is great. At the end of the day, kila mtu anapatanga haki yake. So if you can just only learn how to align yourself with them, what tunaambia Mungu atusaidie, we learn how to swim with the sharks. We don't wish if sharks were not there. Just learn how to swim with them and everything will be okay. If you're a smart person, I know you will know what I mean by that. And if you're a Kenyan, congratulations, you know what I mean by that. All right? The other thing is that you find like, or the other business is like is the hardware business or in the construction industry. Of course, definitely, and I gave an example of Nairobi. If you've been to Nairobi recently, you find that it's like a big construction site. And actually, it's not even Nairobi. Like the entire country is like under repair. It's like Jamaica Island at your green around our country, we are repairing, and then we are telling people, hey, right now we are out of service and such kind of a thing. It's like, especially right now, okay, kuna venye kumetulia kiasi, but if you go all over the country, you find like there is a construction almost everywhere. Barabara zinajengwa, mamo zinajengwa, nini, ma whatever. Na watu wanasema hakuna pesa. So sometimes hata nashangaa ni nani hao wanasema hakuna pesa. But anyway, so what I mean is this, is that Kenya is a developing country. That means we are building capacities, we are building infrastructures, we are building homes. People, yeah, there is this bulging middle income in our country whereby they want good, nice homes, elegant homes, and they also that a wealthy class out there. So that tells you, like, in this construction industry, it's, by the way, do you know one thing? It's actually one of the biggest informal industry in employ what in our country. Yeah. It is true. That's the reality. So if you can get a piece of that specific thing, then you can earn something at the end of the day. Remember, this is what I always say about money. It's always a reward given after solving someone's problem. And what you do is that money, you always get, or you only get it once you identify a problem. Money is only created when problems are solved. That's the reality. Solve a certain problem, then money falls. Or what I mean is that if you identify a certain gap that you can be able to fill it in a society in a very precise way, it doesn't have to be a unique way, it doesn't have to be a unique business, it can be the same business, but how you're running it, you're doing it differently, then I can assure you, you can be able to earn something at the end of the day. Identify that gap, and that's why you find these big companies, they're coming. I heard that, I don't know, Starlink or whatever, this Elon Musk company is coming to our country to invest in such a kind of a thing, because they have realized wherever the Africa now is, it's actually growing to the next level, and it cannot be ignored anymore. Hii mimba sasa haiwezi fichika. It's out there, everybody knows we had unprotected sex. Alright, but now contextualize that information, like now Africa is developing, it becoming to a place. Right now I had some rumors, I don't know, the iPhone, I don't know, the Apple company is shifting its activities from China because the labor is becoming more expensive. The way they tended to go in India, I can foresee them coming to Africa. I don't know. So anyway, that tells you, like, we are projected to be somewhere, and that's the reality of life. So as of now, why don't you pick either of those three businesses? And if you're in a capacity to, then don't put all your eggs in one basket. You can invest in all of them, all right, if you're in a capacity too, and then from there get the cash and earn something at the end of the day. Anyway, if you manage to fikisha this video up to this point, I just want to say thank you. Make sure you click that like button, make sure you click that subscription button, and also make sure you comment down below, tell me what you think, because I'm a believer you have something that you can share. And by the way, don't forget, I do have a booklet as well about business ideas. Na hizo zenye nimetaja, actually I have ready business plans for them. If you'd like to get all those business plans, I have them ready. Just text me on WhatsApp, you get your copy, as simple as that. Alright, I'll leave my number in the description of this video, and I'll still pin it down on my comment section. So grab it, text me, get a copy, get started, and we do something this 2023. 3 weeks already gone, so do something before the time is too late. See you there.